Gentlemen, we're a little bit discombobulated this evening. I'll call the November 9th, 2021 version of Midwest City Council to order. Thanks for being here. I would ask that Mr. Sullivan come down and offer the invocation. I would like to introduce two ROTC cadets that are here from Carl Albert High School. Cadet Etheridge, he's a senior at Carl Albert. And he plans to attend Rose State and then OSOU, ROTC, and then join the United States Air Force. Thanks for being here. Then Cadet Kilmer, who is also a senior for Carl Albert High School, he is going to be a professional boxer, so don't mess with him. All right. Vaughn, you want to offer the invocation? Please stand.
Mayor and Council, thank you so much for continuing this tradition. Gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for the beauty of this day, Lord. Father, we thank you for these men and women, their willingness to serve this city in this capacity as council persons. And Father, we ask that your discernment and your wisdom be upon them tonight in their decisions. Ask that peace be upon them in those decisions as well. Thank you so much for this beautiful city, this great state and nation, and the freedoms we enjoy here. And Father, this is a week that we celebrate those who have served as in our armed forces, and we're so thankful for men and women who are willing to sacrifice, who've done it in the past and who are doing it currently all over the world tonight. Father, ask that peace and protection be upon them, and give their families comfort if they're serving far away in a foreign land. Father, we thank you so much for the peace and comfort that you provide through your Son, Jesus. The confidence that we have in your conquering the grave and the tomb being empty, the blood that was shed on the cross on our behalf. We thank you so much for that blessing. We ask these favors in your Son's holy name. Amen.
Amen.
Now please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen, for being here and leading us in the pledge. Okay, we'll move into community-related announcements. Mr. Lyon.
All right. Start by talking about our Veterans Day Parade, which will be held this Thursday, November 11th, starting at 10 a.m. Parade kicks off at 15th and Century, travels north on Douglas to Reno, then ends on Reno at Joe B. Barnes Regional Park. The reviewing stands will be at the East Side Church of Christ on Douglas. Please come out and help us honor our military veterans this year. Mary, you want to say anything about?
Yes. Last year, when we started meeting for the Veterans Day Parade, it was the 45th anniversary of our pullout of Vietnam. And with that said, we set our theme for the parade to honor our Vietnam vets who, as you know, or if you recall from history, did not get the welcome home that they deserved for fighting for our country. And COVID kind of took care of our parade last year, and we weren't able to have it. So we rolled that theme forward, and we are honoring our Vietnam vets with the parade, and also we are having a reception for the Vietnam veterans at the Reed Center from 6 to 8 tomorrow night. And if you do have somebody that's a family member that's served in Vietnam or during the Vietnam era, we would ask that you join us. And again, this is just our effort from the city of Midwest City to welcome those veterans home like they should have been at the beginning, and make them feel like their service was worthwhile. And I might want to point out that one of our council members, Pat Byrne, is among that group. And so, Pat, thank you for your service during that time period. ahead, Mr. Hunter.
November 5th through the 7th is our 11th annual food drive to benefit families in Midwest City at Sam's Club, Friday and Saturday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sunday 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Please call 739-1005 with any questions or show up at Sam's during that time, and please help donate. I think Mike said we did over 100 families last year. We provided Christmas baskets to, so we're looking forward to doing that again, or you can donate money to the drive as well. We want to let the residents receiving trash services on Thursdays that on Thanksgiving Thursday, November 25th, no services will be provided due to Thanksgiving. Have the receptacles ready on Wednesday, November 24th, so it'll be the day before, wherever Paul's at. It's out there somewhere. Preceding Wednesday this year. So Wednesday instead of Thursday. And Josh, where's Josh at? We'll get a Everbridge call out on that. Okay, I'm sorry. Paul will take care of that. No changes on Veterans Day, right? No, because we're not closed. Okay, next one is please join Mayor Dukes, the council, city staff on Wednesday, December 1st at 6 p.m. at 15th and Century Boulevard as the mayor flips the city switch to light the Holiday Lights Spectacular. Live music will begin at 5:30 p.m. that night. Residents are encouraged to turn on their personal holiday lights that night as well and recognize the beginning of the Christmas holidays. Look forward to that every year. So following the turning on of the lights, residents are welcome to join the council in a special one-night-only walkthrough. Admission is $5 and will be sold on-site, accepting cash or credit cards. Children 6 and under are free. Starting December 2nd, visitors will be able to drive through the lights. And we're excited about the holiday lights being open this year. Our popular new event for children 3 to 10 years old, entitled Calls from Kringle, will be December 10th through the 12th. Midwest City and the North Pole operators have worked together to give Santa a seat in the mayor's office, Mayor Duke's office, to make calls to children in the city.
Oh, ho, ho.
Adults may register to have Santa call one child at a time during this weekend. Registration begins November 15th. More details to come. On December 31st, Midwest City and the Metropolitan Library excited to host a special event for children 7 and under called New Year's Eve. It will be held at the Community Center from 11 a.m. to noon. Children will have a dance party, snacks, crafts, and there will be a ball drop at noon. Registration details to come later. Please watch our website at midwestcityok.org for more details. We want to welcome a new business to our city. I say this right, Mr. Coleman, Kamali's Mexican Kitchen, located at 6602 East Reno, opening this Friday, November 12th. Many thanks to the Barra family for choosing to invest in our community. It's a very nice Mexican restaurant near Arby's, across from Heritage Park Mall. And finally, our sales tax. We received our sales tax report yesterday. Good news. Our sales and use tax is up 9.86% over last year, same time. Last year, same time was a very good month for us, so we're up 9.86% over what we did last year, which was a record number. So very excited about that. Our citizens continue to shop our community, and we appreciate that. So for the year versus previous year, we're up almost 4% against our projection. For the year, we're up 16%. So we are blessed. Looking at the other cities, as I analyze how sales and use tax is doing in the other cities, we are one of the higher achievers in the metro area. So very excited about that news, because that's what runs our city, what drives police and fire, and keeps everyone employed here. So thank you to the citizens of Midwest City. Mayor, that's all I have.
I did forget to recognize a special guest in our audience tonight, Mayor Floyd Easton from our neighbor to the west. Thanks for being here, Floyd. Ms. Eads.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I have a couple of things. Sorry. First off, I want to thank everybody in this room and particularly recognize Grace from the Parks and Rec Department and Jill Donaldson for all of their efforts related to the Trick or Trail. Jill helped us get situated for our couple of tables for the city folks, city council table, city executive staff, got us candy, got us decorations. Grace did an excellent job executing that event. We had a ton of families make it through that event, and I think it was very well received, and so I just wanted to appreciate Grace and the staff that put that on. And thanks to everybody in the room who volunteered for that event, too. Also, I wanted to thank everybody, including neighborhood services. Mike, if you'll extend that to your neighborhood services folks, the police, alumni auxiliary, the fire department folks who did the food drive last weekend, Friday through Sunday. The mayor and I and my daughter were out there and volunteered on Saturday, I know. I issued a challenge to everybody on council and executive staff. If you haven't had a chance to donate, to please consider doing so. That references what Tim was speaking about. I've seen a lot on local social media channels about families who are asking for help for food for the holidays or clothing. So a lot of people are experiencing really tough times right now. So the more families that we can give food baskets to, the better for our community. So if you haven't had a chance, please consider donating if you can. And thank you to everyone for all their hard work. I want to speak really quickly too. We had several people who stopped while they were giving donations, and they gave the volunteers there their heartfelt thanks. One lady brought us a cookie tray from Sam's just for the workers to say thank you. So many people sincerely said thank you and appreciated just being out there and volunteering and helping to do this for our community. So for everybody who's involved in that event, I say thank you. I have a couple of community-related announcements that I wanted to share this weekend, November 12th and 13th, actually Friday and Saturday. Wick Line is having their annual arts and crafts show from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. both of those days. There are tickets on sale for Midwest City High School's Donuts with Santa this year. It's previously been Breakfast with Santa, and it's $5. Children 2 and under are free, and that information is available on the Midwest City High School Facebook page and the Mid-Dell District page. Or if you're interested, let me know, and I'll be glad to connect you with someone. Also, the Bomber Wrestling Group is selling smoked hams for the holidays, $40 prepaid. They can be picked up in the wrestling room on November 22nd. So if you're interested, the last day to order those is November 15th. If you have questions about that, please don't hesitate to reach out to me on that one. Be happy to supply information on that also. I wanted to give a shout out for, there are a number of local businesses who are sponsoring free meals and events, like Andy's Altitude is doing free all-access passes for active and retired military on Veterans Day. And there are a number of local businesses who are offering those things. So if you are a military family, please be sure to check that out. And thank you to those businesses for doing that. And then the other issue that I wanted to raise is, I think before we have our next meeting, Small Business Saturday will occur. And I think the mayor's got a proclamation on that. But again, I've heard a lot about issues with shipping being a problem this year for Christmas gifts. If you're buying gifts, please do remember that we have local artists and makers, that there is no shipping issue. If you shop local, you can grab it local, and we have a lot of small businesses that would really appreciate the support. So please consider that for Small Business Saturday.
Thank you, Ms. Eads. Appreciate it. Does anyone else have anything for the good of the order?
Yes, it's that time of year again. for the Midwest City Dr. Martin Luther King Prayer Breakfast, 25th anniversary. The tickets and tables are now on sale. The committee asked me to ask the council members if you would buy a table at your discretion. This is the Midwest City Dr. Martin Luther King's Prayer Breakfast. And it's going to be on January the 17th, 2022. So I give you plenty of time if you decide to. And as usual, it's at the Reeves Convention Center, Sheraton, and so at the same place every year. So thank you all. Thank everyone for their participation as it go forward. Thank you.
And will you have tickets for that event, or do you purchase them at the door for people who are wanting tickets?
Yes, there is the general admission tickets. They are $25, and they have a very great buffet. And this is the 25th anniversary, so it's going to be a really great program.
Okay, but I'm sorry, Christine, do they get them from you, or are they
Oh,
available
yes,
at the
you
door?
can.
I'm sorry.
You'll be able to get those on the. You go to the Facebook for MLK Prayer Breakfast, and we have Eventbrite, and you can purchase your tables and even general admission tickets, $25.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else have anything? Okay, we do have a couple of proclamations to read, and as Ms. Eads pointed out, Small Business Saturday will be coming up on November 27th. We do have a lot of small businesses in Midwest City, and they are the foundation for every other business in the United States. And whereas Midwest City celebrates our local and small businesses and the contributions they make to our local economy and community. According to the United States Small Business Administration, there are 31 million small businesses in the United States, and they represent 99.7% of all firms with paid employees and are responsible for 65.1% of all new jobs created from 2000 to 2019. Whereas the small businesses employ 47.1% of all employees in the private sector. In the United States, 88% of U.S. consumers feel a personal commitment to support small businesses in the wake of the pandemic, and 92% of small business owners have pivoted the way they do business in order to stay open throughout the pandemic. Whereas 97% of Small Business Saturday shoppers recognize the impact they can make by shopping small business. 85% of them have encouraged friends and family to do so as well. Whereas 56% of shoppers reported they shopped online with small businesses on Small Business Saturday in 2020, and more than 50% of the consumers who reported small businesses or shopping small businesses endorsed local businesses on social media or shopped at local businesses because of social media recommendations. So therefore, I got through that. Therefore, I'm Matthew Dukes, hereby proclaim November 27th, 2021 as Small Business Saturday, and encourage everyone to shop our small business. And unfortunately, we couldn't get some of our representatives here tonight, but we have a number of them here in town, and I urge you to support them. Next proclamation we have is about what Oklahoma is all about. If you studied Oklahoma history at all and remember any of it, you know that we have a rich American Indian heritage. So whereas the history and culture of our great nation has been significantly influenced by American Indians and indigenous peoples, whereas the contribution of American Indians have enhanced the freedom and prosperity and greatness of America today, and whereas their customs and traditions are respected and celebrated as part of a rich legacy in the state of Oklahoma and throughout the United States, whereas Native American Awareness Week began in 1976 and recognition was expanded by Congress and approved by President George Bush in August of 1990, designating the month of November as American Indian Heritage Month. Whereas in the honor of the American Indian Heritage Month, and our community celebrates, as well as numerous other cultural, artistic, educational, and historical activities that have been planned. Therefore, Matt Dukes, Mayor of Midwest City, do hereby proclaim the month of November 2021 as National American Heritage Month, and encourage all citizens to observe this month with the appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities. So we have a rich Indian heritage in this community, and we need to embrace it and recognize our heritage for what it is. So that being said, there are a couple of more announcements. Is anyone here for the discussion items 3 and 4 of our agenda? Good enough. So that takes care of that. So we'll move into our consent agenda.
Tell them what those items are, maybe. The items 3 and 4 is the first one's the updated traffic signal study for 15th and Windsong, and the second one is the Northeast 10th and Shady Brook signal study. There'll be no action on those tonight. So we just wanted to let everyone know, in case you were here just for those two items, that you didn't have to wait all night long for them. So.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lyon. We move into consent agenda. These items are placed on consent agenda so that the council by unanimous consent can approve routine agenda items by one motion. If any item proposed does not meet with the approval of all council or members of the audience wish to discuss an item, it will be removed and heard in regular order. The chair to entertain a motion to approve.
Okay, Mayor, I would like to pull number 7 for discussion.
Okay. So you would move to approve with the exception of item
With the
number
exception
7?
of- Yes.
Do I have a motion, or do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention, motion carries. Item number 7, Mr. Lyon.
Discussion and consideration approving any possible amendments of the 2021-22 Midwest City Landscape Master Plan. Christine?
Yes, in reference to the landscape, that is also consists of the tree board. That position is not vacant. Paul Streets, could you please expand on that, how that came about?
Good evening, Mayor, Council. That landscape plan you have in front of you was adopted by the tree board October 12th after 12 p.m. Later that evening, after 6 p.m., you all put Marcus Hayes on the tree board. So the landscape plan was actually adopted with a vacancy in Ward 5, and then that evening, Marcus was placed in that position. So we have to, this is important for us to maintain our status as a Tree City USA member. So obviously, action is at the discretion of the council, but we would appreciate having it approved so we could go ahead and finish the required components of the Tree Board USA.
How did the tree board vote for this?
They approved it,
How? Unanimously?
yes. I would
Okay.
entertain any other questions.
No, not at all. Does anyone else have any questions for Mr. Street? Christine,
then
does that
all-
clarify?
That is clarified, and also the council, we approved it also, I think that particular.
It was, so you,
Yeah,
you,
we
Marcus
approved it
Hayes, you
that
mean?
night, on
You,
the
yes, that
October.
evening, yes, ma'am. So frankly, it was just a matter of timing. Had he been put on, then we wouldn't have a vacancy listed. Obviously, he is now in that role as a representative for Ward 5.
Okay. Very well. So
Thank you.
Christine, I entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve. I,
A motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstention, motion carries. Thanks, Christine, for bringing that to our attention.
thank you, Paul Streets, appreciate it too.
We move into our discussion items. Mr. Lyon, number 1.
Discussion, consideration, including any amendments of electing a vice mayor. This is at the council's discretion.
I nominate Pat for another term tenure as vice mayor.
I second.
I've got a motion and a second.
As long as he
I assume you
agrees.
agree to serve in this capacity, Mr. Byrne? Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I have a nomination and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention, motion carries. Thanks for helping out, Pat. Appreciate it.
Appreciate the trust y'all put in me also.
Well, I think we should give Pat a round of applause because he does an excellent job as the vice
He
mayor.
does do a very good job as vice mayor.
Absolutely.
Thank you for agreeing to do it.
Okay, we move into item number 2, Mr. Lyon.
Public hearing with discussion, consideration, including any amendments of passing a resolution declaring the structure located at 9409 Northeast 11th Street a public nuisance as defined under Midwest City Code 20.1, or MCO 20.1 IPMC 301.3, and abatement procedures under MCO 27-8 and the municipal code in setting dates to demolish and remove the structure from the site. Mr. Stroh.
I have current pictures of the location going around right now, starting with Ward 1. To give you guys a brief history, you guys have a couple pictures in your packet, but these are current as of last week. The structure was a fire on December 24th of 2020. It's been in that shape since. It is now to the state where the copper on the interior is being stolen out. The compressor condensing unit on the outside has been stolen of all valuables. The property was condemned on January 28th of 2021 as the owner was still living in the structure after the fire. We have not had any problems with that owner since. We have not had a problem with that person. Police department has gone out and trespass were issued to people that were in the structure. The structure is attempted to be secured and has been broke back into, and so therefore it is wide open. Title search was done. The registered owner, the city of Midwest City, because of their tax liens for the property that we've cleaned up there, and then the county for the lien that's there, was the 3 property owners listed on the title search. So I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Does anyone have any questions, Mr. Stroh?
So,
Ladies and gentlemen, oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
so has this owner expressed any desire to repair this house or what?
Not to my knowledge.
You have not been in contact with
I
him?
have not.
He has not contacted Midwest?
It's a public
I
hearing,
get
so
it.
we'll,
It's my house and there's some terrible people that came into my life and made it.
Ma'am, could this is a public hearing. Could you come to the podium and
That they put on my house. But I got health problems now and somebody kidnapped my husband and my number 2 man disappeared that was with us. that I
Okay,
take care of
ma'am,
everything. Yeah.
come to the podium and state your name and address for the record, please.
Suzanne M. West,
Okay.
9409 Northeast 11th Street,
Okay.
Midwest City, Oklahoma.
Okay, now please explain your situation to us.
Well, I can't afford nothing now. I'm on disability, and my husband gone like 3 years because he was highly disabled and believed a whole bunch of crazy people. But I want this man somehow to like get on my deed or something. His family knows how to do things. I couldn't get even an electrician to hardly come in. I could, for that low income thing. And I can't afford to live there anyway anymore. I
Yes,
just
ma'am.
live in an apartment now. But I promised him that for his family and stuff that somehow if he can like take over where I would be if I could afford to do everything, I would. But somehow I need to get him, in my position and have like us, be able to take care of the house and get it redone, for like that low income and stuff. But his family he got lots of family that do, like contract work and stuff, all that, like electrician stuff, but I just can't do it no more. I can't do nothing. I'm lucky to clean my bathroom, it's just, and my knee, I already hurt my knee in a car accident, and then I fell down a step and made it even worse. But,
Well, ma'am, I'm very sorry, and I don't know exactly how to lead you through the legal ramifications. I mean, there's obviously deed issues and things that you're going to have to take care of, but, the house has been vacant for a year. It's totally destroyed.
I know, you just couldn't.
And we've got health and safety issues that we have to address within the city. You understand that?
Yeah, are you like saying yes or no to it now?
I'm not saying either way. I'm just
Well,
saying that
could we go down
those
to
are
the-
issues.
Yes, could we go
And-
down to the ordinance place and they help him and his people get it all done? 'Cause
Well, again, it's been a year.
I know, because we had a whole, there was this crazy girl, she even murdered somebody before, and they just let them back out on the street, and they
Okay,
kick
let-
in your
let- ma'am,
door.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
let's stick to the issue at hand, and that's the house.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to have a vote of the council on which way they want to go. And there's been a lot of time expired.
I know, but I was sick, and I had to try to figure out how to replace to live. I was homeless for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, it took me a lot to get into my
I'm very
apartment.
sorry. I'm very
Okay.
sorry. So, does anyone have any questions, this young lady?
Sir, and who are you? Could you
Thank you, council, for this meeting. My name is Christopher Andrews,
Okay.
and I've been staying with Susie for the last 3 years. I'm a friend of hers, a good friend of hers. And the reason why she took me in, and I was glad to be at her home, because people bullied her in Midwood City. And I said, that's not gonna happen. You're not gonna bully her because of her condition. You're not gonna do this. So I moved in with her and took care of her needs, what if she needed to do, around the house, cook, whatever. I did this for her. And reason being, one of the reasons being, that the house is not where it is today. She didn't know how. Her name's on the deed, not my name. She wanted to give the house away to Midwood City. But instead, I talked to her about it. I said, is there, please stop, please. So, therefore, the reason being why the house is not in a better condition, as according to standards of Midwood City, is because she didn't know how. So she asked me, she wanted to give away. I said, that's a beautiful thing. But I said, Susie, do you have anybody else you would like to donate your house to? How about the children organization? For the children. Just don't give it to Midwood City. You make the decision who you want to give it to if you want to give your house to. And she was clear cut, wanted to give to Midwood City. I said, you got to do better than that. You worked for this house. You paid this house. You earned this house. This is your home. This is, I never heard of people giving the house away. I never heard of this. It's unheard of to me. Anyways, she said if I could prepare this house for her, get it in condition, it would be mine, as well as hers. But I tell her, I can't do a thing. My name is not on the deed. I can't do a thing.
Okay, let me interrupt for just a second. Sir, I apologize. Let me ask you a question to clarify my understanding. So if I understood you correctly, you lived with this lady at this address, 9409 Northeast 11th Street, for a period of 3 years, you said earlier, correct?
That is correct, approximately 3 years.
Okay, so you're telling the council that this lady did not have the wherewithal to figure out how to repair this property, but you were living there the entire time,
Correct.
and you're saying you have the knowledge to figure out how to repair this property, is that correct?
Correct, yes, I do.
Okay, so I'm sorry, it begs the question for me, why does the property still look like this, and why has it continued to look like this for a year?
Because it was her decision. It was her decision. It was her decision
It was her decision to what?
to get it in ordinance with the city standard. There
To
was
get
certain-
it what? I'm
To
sorry.
get it to get it fixed according to the standards of Midwest City.
Okay. So, I'm sorry, I apologize. Did I misunderstand that? So why is it not fixed then? I'm sorry.
I was just
What?
gonna let you like do what you wanted and then give you after
No,
6
stop.
months. I can't afford nothing.
Okay. I think,
You have your time, please. Please.
okay, sir,
Yes,
okay.
yes, sir.
What time frame are you expecting to have this house fixed?
Realistically. Realistically. Complete and finish. If everything goes according to plan, within the next 3 months. Accordingly, within the next 3 months. If everything goes according to plan.
Next thing.
All right, does anyone have any other questions for
I-
this gentleman or Mr. Stroh?
Okay, so next 3 months. So we're getting into the winter weather. Okay, so you're saying December, January, February
Yes, I am.
is, okay.
What is your background? Are you a contractor?
I'm very pleasant. I'm a home builder. I love building homes. I love working with wood. I'm also a cook, certified, a cook, but as a chef. I've been a chef, culinary school and everything, but I never got my chef degree and everything because.
But are you a
so
licensed,
rigid.
you're a licensed contractor?
Oh, no, sir. No, sir, but I know some.
So this house is gonna need electrical work, plumbing work, and how are you planning to provide all that and still come under city code?
I was gonna go through get a grant. Get a grant for this for a first time homeowner.
Mayor, I hate to be this way, but I drove by this address in the daytime. It's in the middle of a residential zone. It's not out by itself. There's houses that are right next to it. In fact, the neighbor to the, I guess it would be kind of the northeast, their property it's extremely lucky that their house didn't burn up when theirs did. It is boarded up, which is obviously, it means people been in it. And I didn't go inside, but I looked on the outside. It's nowhere near close to being habitable. And I think it's unrealistic to think that somebody could go in there in 3 months and rebuild a burned out structure that sat for almost a year. And I think as a council, I think it would be in our best interest just to move on with it.
So
I agree.
I-
Given that being said, I'd take,
I want to ask you this. Now, you had mentioned, she had mentioned that you have not only you said you have someone that worked with you or someone, what was she talking about?
Yes, she had mentioned that. I know a few contractors,
Okay.
and I do. They're family members.
I'm left to say I agree with Pat, Ward 2.
Well,
It is tough for her, but it's equally not fair to the neighbors.
That is correct.
And if you were going to apply for a grant, you couldn't apply for one because you don't have the property. She would have to. It would take months to get.
Yes, sir. This is one reason why it's one reason why it is now. I'm not on the deeds. I'm not on the
I
deeds.
understand.
This is why.
But
So
I'm saying that it's not fair to that neighborhood, those neighbors.
that's correct.
have you
to
talked
keep
to
it
the
in this
neighbors?
shape or worse
Yes,
in
I
the
have.
months to come.
And they've been asking, do you want to sell it?
I think we've probably heard enough, and Chair would entertain a motion.
I make a motion to follow with staff's recommendation.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I disagree. Oh, can we do a roll
Second.
count?
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? We'll get one. Ms. City Clerk, I need a roll call vote on this.
Ward 1? Ward 2? Ward 3? Ward 4?
Yes.
Ward 5?
No.
Ward 6?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Mayor, can I add something? Make a request of you or city manager or the city attorney. Without response back from him, can you explain what the next step is going to happen and what she can expect from the city as to what will happen in the next few days, weeks, whatever?
Sure. According to the resolution that you just adopted,
I think it's 30, 60 days.
repairs
90.
or the homeowner must either start repairs or start demolition within the next 10 days. If they do that, they must complete those repairs or complete that demolition within the next 30 days. If it is not completed within the next 30 days, then the city has the authority to do the demolition itself. And then we will contract with the contractor to go out and demolish the building ourselves.
And
if
then
that activity is not completed.
And talk about the lien, because they think we're taking the house.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's not the case.
The other part of it is then for the work that we have to pay for, we will according to state statute, we have the ability to place a lien with the county treasurer's office for payment of the monies that we spent for the action that we had to take concerning the property.
But the land is still hers.
Land is still hers. All we do is place a lien on it.
Okay, sir, thank you very much for appearing. Sorry it didn't go your way.
Thank you, Counselor. Very well.
If you did not understand what the city attorney has talked and expressed, you can call the city attorney so he can re-emphasize whatever you did not understand. You can call Midwest City,
Midwest
the
City.
city attorney, so he can explain it to you.
Thank you
that
very much,
understand precisely.
Thank you very much,
Thank you,
Counselor.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, we move 3 and 4. There's no action needed on those particular items. Items 3 and 4, there's no action going to be taken on those two items. Item number 5, Mr. Lyon.
Item number 5, CA 80, discussion consideration of appeal, including any possible amendment by Casey's General Store to Section 9-386B of the Midwest City Sign Ordinance, which limits the height of freestanding signs to 20 feet above the level of the street for the property addressed at 5601 Tinker Diagonal.
Mr.
Harless.
Thanks, Mr. Lyon. Tough act to follow. Casey's General Store has recently occupied the building at 5601 Tinker Diagonal, which was formerly occupied by Conoco. A waiver to the height requirement of freestanding signs was granted for the location by the council in '98. The applicant plans to remove the existing sign cabinet and replace it with a Casey's signage. The proposed overall height for this sign would be 64 feet 10 inches. I'll be glad to answer any questions. I think somebody had asked why the sign was a little bit lower. That's because the old sign set up on top of the pole, and this will be slid where it's encased around the pole. But this waiver is fairly common out on the
And that's
interstate.
consistent with the rest of the businesses in the surrounding area, correct?
Yes, sir.
Any questions, Mr. Harless? The representative from Casey's is here. Is there any questions for them? Hearing or seeing none, Chair to entertain a motion.
Motion.
I have a motion.
Second.
I have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention, motion carries. Thank you guys for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Item number 6, Mr. Lyon.
Discussion consideration for adoption, including any possible amendment of an ordinance amending the Midwest City Municipal Code, Chapter 15, Fire Protection and Prevention, Article 3, Fire Prevention Codes and Standards, Division 2, Fire Prevention Codes by amending Section 15-55, 15-56, and adopting Section 15-59, establishing an effective date and providing for repealer and severability. Chief Norton.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Before you tonight is the plan for the fire department to update the Chapter 15 city ordinance for us. We took to the Ordinance Review Committee probably a year and a half ago. We went when we started looking at our ordinances and updates, and this is one that we brought out. We also assessed some of our, or evaluated some of our fees for services as compared to other cities. And we realized that there was some room for us to make some adjustments for the fire department in this area. So we went out and we did a look at neighboring city to see what they do and how they do it. Excuse me. And it was noticed that how the fee structure was broken down, and by the International Fire Code that requires the fire department to go out and do the inspections, is what gives the ability. It's not us enforcing any of our, creating any ordinances for us to do the inspections. The International Fire Code tells us that we need to go out and do that. So this is broken down and basically built out on some actual hands-on time that we have for doing the inspections. We'll do them on an annual basis based upon for ISO rating as well, and in being in compliance with the International Fire Code. You had two copies before you. One was with strike-throughs, one was the clean copy, and the last page just talked about the fees themselves that were out there. The fees range from $100 down to $25. We already have some fees in there that are based on per square footage for the building inspections that we already currently do on plans review for anything that's coming into the community. I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Any questions of the chief?
Make a motion to pass.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion carries. Thanks, chief, for all your hard work on this.
Thank you all very much for your support.
Ladies and gentlemen, move into the new business public discussion of this agenda. Does anyone have anything to bring forth council? Item G is for further information, and Mayor Eason, this was the item that you're here to hear. We're going to push that forward until December, and I'll let you know what date it is, and then we'll probably hear it on that. But it's been pushed to further information so the council can, again, glean over what the resolution and what action that we're going to take. And I appreciate you being here.
Mr. City Manager, can we speak on that at all, or is it for?
I believe we can. We
I
can
don't
read
see
the
any
item.
reason not to.
The thing that I would encourage the council to do is, there's a plethora of information on this particular deal. And and it would be cumbersome for the city clerk or the staff to here to provide all the documents. There's PowerPoints, there's analysis, there's studies, there's a lot of things that are out there. But I think if between now and it'll be probably a month before
It'll be at the next council meeting, December 14th, I believe is the date.
There's a website, and it's rtaok.gov. If you'll go to that website, like I said, there's a lot of information on there that it's very informative on where the future of this is for the city of Midwest City. And I think it would be incumbent take a little bit of time and look at it.
I agree. Thank you, Pat. I appreciate it. Okay, well, that's further information. We do have an executive session on this agenda. Mr. Line.
Discussion and consideration of entering into an executive session is allowed under Title 25, 307B4, discuss confidential communications between a public body and its attorney concerning a pending investigation, claim, or action if the public body, with the advice of its attorney, determines that disclosure will seriously impair the ability of the public body to process the claim or conduct a pending investigation, litigation, or proceeding in the public interest, and two, authorizing the city manager to take action as appropriate based on discussion.
That being said, the chair would entertain a motion to recess the city council agenda.
Second.
Boy, y'all are quick. I guess I have a motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention. We are hereby recessed from the city council agenda. And I call to order the Midwest City Memorial Hospital Authority. We have two discussion items. Mr. Lyon.
Chairman, discussion, item number one, discussion consideration for adopting, including possible amendments of the October 26, 2021 meeting minutes.
Chair to entertain the motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention. Motion carries. Item number two.
No action needed.
No action needed on number two. We move into new business public discussion of this agenda. Does anyone have anything to bring before the authority? Hearing and seeing none, we're hereby adjourned. And I call to order the Special Economic Development Authority. We do have a consent agenda. These items are placed on the consent agenda, so the trustees, by unanimous consent, can approve routine agenda items by one motion. If any item proposed does not meet with the approval of all trustees or members of the audience which discuss an item, it will be removed and heard in regular order. Chair to entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? Abstention? Motion carries. Move into new business public discussion of this agenda. Does anybody have anything to bring before the authority? Hearing or seeing none, we are hereby adjourned, and I would entertain a motion to reconvene City Council.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to reconvene City Council agenda. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention. I need a motion to go into executive session.
Second.
Okay, let's slow down. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention. Motion carries. We are hereby in executive session. Thank you for being here and have a good